your horror movie podcast.
All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast. Here we go. We're talking 1994's Brainscan today. I'm Justin.
Yeah.
That's Hacky. That's Stabby. I believe Sean is Hacky. Fuck.
So,
can I do that again?
No, it's okay. It's perfect.
Nope. We're rolling with it. This is perfect.
We're rolling. Let's go.
We're rolling it like a joint.
There we go. Roll that joint. Watch some Brainscan.
Pick out the seeds and stems.
I've lost the plot already. I wasn't prepared for this, so I'm kicking it over to Waterboy. Waterboy, help me out.
This week's the Sean movie with Brainscan, and this movie was a definitely 90s movie.
No one asked your opinion.
Oh, I'm giving it anyway, bro. I'm giving it anyway.
There's so much heat on this fucking podcast. All right, now we're on to Justin. Goodbye, Waterboy.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Take it easy.
Really
Take it easy,
awesome
guys.
input. Thank you for saving me. I'm like, yeah, throw me
Hey,
like
no
this over.
problem.
I'm fucking lost the plot. Please help me. I fell off the boat, just for the love of God. And
Waterboy is currently slamming his stick in a door.
Look at dude, he actually signed off. We got rid of him. It was that easy. We're down to 2.
Justin didn't have to right click.
Let's go. I didn't even have to delete him.
Oh my
it's
God.
awkward.
What just happened?
Hey,
Whoa.
we're just saying. I hope you come back.
I'm a
Really
ghost. I'm a
Oh,
ghost,
you're back.
bro.
Whoa,
Goes
yes.
to Waterboy.
Almost lost him there. That would have been terrible. Oh my God. I was devastated.
Really? You didn't seem too devastated.
I gotta fix this ghost shit. Well, hold on. Where am I going?
Yeah,
Point
at least he's got pants on.
I was gonna say, careful where you're pointing that. Will you stop? Oh my God.
There's so much nipple.
Oh my dear God.
Is
Where
he
am I-
wiping off the camera lens like it's gonna make the shadowing go away?
Where is
Where
it? Though?
are we right now? What are we doing? Whose movie is it?
Waterboy, why don't you sign off
Almost.
and come back in a little bit? Yeah,
It worked.
definitely
It
allow
worked. All right, guys, you
um,
ready?
Yeah, we should probably just
Ready.
delete all that.
Leroy.
No, keeping it in.
Please don't.
Giggity.
Yeah, keeping it
please.
in.
People are gonna log off. They're gonna be like, they came
Yeah.
to see Brainscan.
Do you
We're
want
gonna
it
get
out?
What are you doing now?
Do you want it out or in, Justin?
No, keep all your shit to yourself. Remember, we're supposed to come across likable. We're not supposed to talk about this shit. It's a horror podcast.
I know.
Ask
Yeah,
people
and this
whether
is a
that's-
scary conversation.
That's frightening.
Keep your hands to
Justin.
your fucking self. I didn't even consent to this shit. Like, my dear God. Brainscan. We're trying to focus on Brainscan. We haven't even said like smash that like and shit. We're gonna lose
No.
like our last 2 followers. All right, let's talk. All right, Brainscan.
You ready? You ready? Woosah. Woosah. Come on, give me it. Get flexed.
Ah, what's
Ready
happening?
for podcast?
We're getting amped up for the podcast.
My God,
I
I'm starting to do
make
some fucking push-ups.
podcast.
I
Do
watch things. I write them down.
Oh, I got my pull-up bar right over there.
Dude, 57.
Yeah.
Let's 50.
Yeah, because he got
All right.
shot 9 times.
All right, okay. That's all right.
That was
Sorry.
a nice
Alright.
transition. All right.
Hey, let's do the thing. Hold on. Obviously, there's a lot of editing to be done here, but we should probably do the thing where you actually like before the episode because people only watch us for like 11 minutes. So maybe before we tell them to smash the like and we
We
like
just
do our
give-
call to action.
We just
Let's
give
do our
them this 11 minutes. That's it.
Like, no
It's
one's
the
gonna
best
watch one
11
movie.
minutes of your life.
So anyway, if you enjoyed these first few minutes before shutting us off, smash that like. Please hit that subscribe. Show us some love. We'll love you back. Oh, I didn't even. I just
Follow us on
delete that.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, any of the social platforms. We have a ton of fun making content. We hope you guys enjoy it. That's what we're here for, guys. If there's any way we can improve, dude, let us know in the comments. Anything you want to see, let us know, fam. We trying to do you just like you
Hey.
trying to do us. And like Justin said, we trying to show that love, bro.
We want to give all that love back.
Yeah, Justin smiling like I just made that way too inappropriate, but it wasn't meant to be.
no.
It's all good.
It's just tough with
Alright,
you two. It's just
It's
tough
all-
with you two. I don't know what I signed up for.
I mean, you know, life
It
is
ain't.
hard.
It ain't easy, bro.
It ain't easy being cheesy. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Brainscan 1994. Like Waterboy said, this is a 90s movie. If you have ever seen it, it is directed by John Flynn, starring Edward Furlong, Jamie Gallen, T. Ryder Smith, Frank Langella. I know I'm saying his name wrong, but I can't say it to save my life because I mispronounce things all the time. Woo! All right, boys, you ready to dive into this movie?
Yeah, let's get into the shit.
Hack, stab, slash. What about you? You ready to dive into this movie?
Let's dive.
I wasn't asking you.
He wasn't asking you, man. Seriously,
Hey, man.
once again, with
Hey.
Why you gotta? I can't even think of the words. I can't even think of the words, man.
I think of the disappointment. Just disappointed.
That's what I was always told by my parents.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Now we're just going. Okay.
All right. Well, now that we're completely off the rails, let's start out. We open to a sleeping Michael having a dream about a car accident he was in as a child that destroyed his knee. He's woken up to a dope ass phone set and a phone call from his buddy Kyle. Kyle calls and he wants to let him know all about Brainscan. Meanwhile, Michael is a stalker and a half filming his neighbor Kimberly, and she knows it. She's playing right along into this. And guys, just so you know, so you don't feel creeped out watching this, she was 27 during the filming of this movie, even though she looks like she's 13.
And
there you go.
Just so you are a little bit settled, because this happens quite a few times in the movie.
Michael was the only one who was his age during this.
Yeah. Everyone else was in their 20s. Kimberly knows that she's filming him, but Michael proceeds to pick up the phone and call Brainscan. And bang, pap, zoom, diggity bop, bop, skibbity wop. A bunch of lights happen, and now Michael's told he is playing Death by Design and to enjoy the ride. Michael gets grilled by his principal the next day at school for his horror movie club and his movie choice of death, death, death. He compares it to smoking marijuana, rape, sex clubs, and all kinds of random shit. On his way home, he sees a car accident, and it kind of gives you a glimpse into the fact that he's still dealing with his childhood trauma. And he heads home, he grabs the mail, and he's fucking ecstatic. And he opens up Brainscan. Michael plugs it in, and he is told this is the first of 4 discs. And he must think like a killer, act like a killer, and not let the time run out. We see now that he has 60 minutes. If he does not complete his mission within 60 minutes, he will not be allowed to continue, and that is a crucial part of this game. He now completes Disc 1, leaving the cat as the only witness and taking a trophy with minutes to spare. How we feeling, boys? How we like the movie so far?
All right. So far, when I first started watching this movie, I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Like the pacing in the beginning, I love cheesy movies and stuff, but the first like 15 minutes, I was like, all right, oh man, it's just gonna be slow. I was a little nervous. I wasn't really loving it. I wasn't hooked right away, but I did love the fact that, first of all, the kid's like a horror fan. Like it was so funny when all of a sudden they're like, oh, what movie you watched? And he's like, death, death, death. Then it part 2. Like, absolutely love that.
The principal is like already laying into him, and then he pauses and they look at each other and he goes, part 2. And he's like,
two.
Of
like,
course.
Oh my God.
So funny. Like, that was awesome. And then all of a sudden, I literally wrote, like as soon as the game started, I was like, bro, whoa. Like, I started getting sucked in right there. It changed. I really started liking it. Like, this
Was it the POV game that did it for you?
You guys always laugh when I say POV, but yes, it actually was.
I thought it was pretty dope.
POV.
It was like
it was
first person shooter way back in 1994.
Yep.
Fun fact, guys: Resident Evil was trying to do first person shooter shit since the late 80s, and this was nuts.
100%. What a boy! Before I keep just talking, what do you got?
I thought the same thing as you. I thought like, well, this is kind of boring so far. Right. And then as soon as it got to like them actually getting into the game and seeing the first person of like going to be the killer, that was pretty cool. The transition that they did in that movie for it being early 90s like that, they did this right, honestly.
100%. And what awesome, like say, like this movie may be ahead of its time a little bit. I get like it's a ridiculously cheesy like B movie that's obviously flawed and it's just like dumb fun, but at the same time, like kind of ahead of its time. I mean, what was this, 94?
Yeah.
Like like you said, this first player. We got
no, keep going. I was
just saying, like for first player shooter, like POV game, and just having like Igor, his little like electronic thing, like all the stuff that's going on with like the AI and stuff.
After I saw this, I wanted Igor so bad in my bedroom.
It reminded me of Jarvis from
it was
like,
voice
Iron Man.
controlled too. It wasn't like he had to press any buttons. Everything was voice activated.
It was great.
Yeah,
I just wanted to know you guys that T. Ryder Smith was actually the voice of
Igor.
Igor.
Yeah, he went uncredited in the movie.
Yeah, stole one of my fun facts.
We see the principal says after he admits that it's like part 2 and that he's clearly already shown part 1, he says what does he say? Oh, now you have to everything has to go through me to be approved, and Horror Club is currently banned until further notice.
Yeah.
I absolutely, like you said, this movie is way ahead of its time. We see other video game movies that come out almost 10, 15 years later in Stay Alive. Yeah. And the graphics and the plot and that, as fun as it is to watch, I think this video game movie blows that one out of the water.
Yeah.
And I love Stay Alive.
No, Stay Alive's a fun movie. 100% think Stay Alive's a fun movie.
They need to redo. They need to make that another genre where they just do more of those.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of that stuff, especially with how integral gaming is in everyday life now.
And talking right back into this, the first disc and everything right there. It was also before when he put the do not disturb up to stop playing. I mean, we had White Zombie playing in the background, so obviously I can't not talk about Zombie. Loved the fact that we had White Zombie going in the background. So the soundtrack, a badass soundtrack, and just when he played that game, it almost felt like a Halloween movie too. Just how they had they showed the knife, and they had the, as Waterboy says, the POV. It just felt badass. Yeah, it sucked me in. I absolutely loved it. And if anyone else has anything to say, you can carry on.
You good, Waterboy?
Yeah, I was gonna say even the narration part, going speaking into his head, open the
gate.
And yeah,
that was cool.
Crazy.
That was pretty dope. All right. So he awakes and he's floored by how intense his experience was, pounding the shit out of some pure calcium, pounding that milk, dripping all over his face. On the walk to school now, he gushes over it to Kyle, who can't wait to play it and is begging Michael for the video game. Michael visits Kimberly after school, and he hears about the video game murder on TV. Michael begins to panic and runs back home. Brainscan calls Michael as the trickster now comes through the TV. Michael and the trickster argue over the murder. Michael says he didn't do it. The trickster insists that he did do it, and it was art. And it was beautiful. Michael goes to bury the foot, and the neighborhood dog, who just roams freely whenever Michael's trying to do something, steals the foot, goes to run away, but he's like, just kidding, bro. You can have it back. Dog drops the foot, takes off. Michael is now at home, and Kyle comes over, and he's basically demanding the video game. He tells him he hasn't been in school because he's sick and he's got mono. I guess skipping school and telling one person you have mono gets your crush of a next door neighbor to bring you a week's worth of homework. And Brainscan, disc 2. He destroys it. He panics, breaks it, just has an absolute meltdown. But the trickster shows up anyways, and the disc in hand insists that he play it to take care of the witness. He videotapes his experience as a confessional and begins disc 2. He wakes up in a sweat with 7 minutes left. He goes to watch his tape, and it shows him leaving, and he finds his trophy in the freezer. This time, it's Kyle's necklace.
Oh. Rest in peace, Kyle. Rest in peace, man. That's rough. I guess he's not going to be able to play that game.
It's picking up, boys. It's getting a little faster now.
Yeah,
I just want to say how...
go ahead.
I just want to say... God. I just want to say how great Edward Furlong's acting is in this movie.
It's fucking horrible.
I know.
It's so bad. Oh, he was my favorite, one of my favorite actors too as a kid growing up. I felt like he could do no wrong.
Yeah.
He shows no emotion.
Dude, I really noted that too after. I was like, seriously? I'm like,
my friend's dead. All right.
No, there's so many flaws. It was his best friend. He's one of his only friends, and he's just doesn't no emotion, the worst.
No,
he couldn't even give you anything.
Kyle.
Yeah, dude. He panics, and he even he calls him, and he's just like, Kyle. And the detective answers the phone. He goes, bye.
No.
Hold on, really quick. So before we get into that second tape, really fast, just Dude, how great is it when the trickster just like enters his room? Like all of a sudden, like the trickster is just right there, and like, holy shit! Can you please talk about the scene where
I'm
he
gonna.
like puts on the CD and just starts rocking out? He's like, this dude's so upset that what happened that he killed someone, and he puts on Primus and he's rocking
from the top of the charts straight to a spot in your heart.
Straight to a spot in your heart. And he's dancing around to freaking Primus of all weirdo bands. Of course, the trickster listens to freaking Primus. And he like jumped up. He's like swinging on shit. Just like, listen to Primus. I freaking love that scene so much. It was just so absolutely incredible.
Honestly,
dude,
the way he lands.
Yeah, dude, the way he lands on the bed, like on his back and then arches his head back.
Yeah.
Reminded me of a very sexual, like, hey, come to bed, girl.
Yeah. But I had to mention that because that was just like my favorite scene, like just how ridiculously over the top this trickster looks, how he dances the Primus. And then I just wanted to talk about that dog scene real fast. Man, that shit had me nervous as shit with like the foot and stuff and the dog and stuff. They kept making think he was gonna get caught. Oh man, I actually sweat a little.
Anxiety,
bro. That was a little
anxiety-driven dog.
Yeah, that was a tough scene right there.
That dog is probably the best actor in this movie, start to finish.
Dude, I say he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
God. Dude, that dog went on to be in Air Bud. He was in like
dribbling basketballs. He's actually currently the co-producer of Paw Patrol.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's on the advisory board.
Paw Patrol's getting a lot of heat right now, though.
Guys, I've been at this for 34 years. I know what I'm doing. Bark this way. Bark this way.
I can't believe. All right, that's unbelievable. That's good. I liked it. All right, let's go.
I just want to say that the trickster reminds me of the Little Monsters of Howie Mandel.
Yes, that's another movie I love. And Howie Mandel said if they ever remade it, he'd never do it again. He had to go through like 12 hours of makeup just for like a 2-hour shoot.
I can only imagine what that must be. Yeah.
I love that movie when I was a kid. Oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
So now Michael gets interviewed by the homicide detectives about Kyle's murder. They leave. Michael heads upstairs to where the trickster helped himself to a snack. And Justin, there is way too much mustard on bananas.
Yeah, I mean, that was a weird choice. Like that was
bananas.
That was you shouldn't
what?
Banana. That's disrespectful.
And he squirts extra and then just eating it.
No,
wait, that's not how I look like with my ketchup in the break room like every day at work, is it?
No, at least yours makes sense, dude. It's ketchup and like sausages and meat.
Wait, this if you started putting ketchup on bananas,
olives and bananas. I like to eat olives and bananas. Like what the fuck? They argue and the trickster cuts open Michael's hand as blood pours out and it turns into disc 3. The trickster makes a compromise with him in this one. It tells him that Michael will not have to kill anyone. He simply has to go back and remove the clue that ties Michael to the killings. Yeah. Michael doesn't trust him, though. I mean, his name is the trickster. Right? He starts to play, but if he runs out of time, it's game over. We get an absolutely weird sex scene. And some breaking and entering and a neighborhood watch lineup that it's just nothing makes sense. Like it's just absolutely wild. The detective breaks in, steals a bunch of ashes out of the fireplace. He forms a neighborhood watch and tells anyone that if they have a gun, he's confiscating it and they're spending the night in the jail. It's just it's wild. So Michael now begins disc 3. He's covering his tracks. However, the trickster decides to call in as a concerned citizen to alert the authorities that there is an intruder on the property. Michael's on the run now. He gets caught by the principal, but about like 200-300 bricks fall on him accidentally, and Michael gets away.
That's a lot of bricks, bro.
But not before someone in the neighborhood watch puts a fucking shotgun shell through one of the detectives, just blast him away, and then the local cop goes, "Hey kid, go home. They just shot the killer." What?
I'm pretty sure they saw that guy when they were talking about
dude, like what the hell? I even wrote that. I'm like, what is even happening? Like, it was wild.
I'm like, you're the local PD, and there's only 2 homicide detectives that are working this case. One of them just got shot in the fucking chest by a 12 gauge. And you're going to think he's the killer? He identified himself as a cop as he walked up to the group, and they still shot him.
And they said no
Blast
guns,
them.
dude.
I know. I was gonna say first, like there was no guns. Every single person there has a shotgun all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then
The detective clearly, the lead detective clearly was like, no one bring out a gun. We're simply just trying to keep the neighborhood safe. The second the detective walks away, everyone's like, grab your shotty.
Right? And dude, even the detective didn't seem too sad. I mean, he was like, "Oh, who's gonna tell his wife?" But I figured for a second he'd be at least show some emotion, be like, "Oh shit, man, that was like Bob or someone," and he just he's like, "Oh shit,"
or at least lay into the crowd like, "This was my partner." You bunch of
right,
dumb
like
fucks.
those some kind of like he was just like, "Who's gonna tell his wife?" Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I get a new person.
Does nobody care in this movie?
No, not at all.
God.
Right.
They're gonna shoot your eye out, kid. Go home.
Yeah. So Michael and the trickster now talk about how he has another witness. This time it's Kimberly. Michael wakes up the next morning and he wants to turn himself in. He doesn't want to play the games anymore, but the trickster talks him out of it and he demands, Michael, it's her life or yours. Choose. Disc 4 now commences. Yeah. Disc 4 now commences. And he only has 15 minutes as opposed to the 260s and the 30 he had before. He now breaks into Kimberly's house and begins the hunt. When he gets to Kimberly's bedroom, he realizes he can't kill Kimberly and instead tries to kill the trickster, who has a freaky electric sex merge that just swallows him whole and eats him alive. It's something wild. He consumes Michael,
so
and now Michael pops up, but guess what, guys? He's not Michael anymore. And Kimberly reveals how creepy she is too. She reveals that she is also a creepy ass love fest for Michael as well, and they unemerge, and the trickster lets in the detective, who points and shoots Michael in the chest. Not before Michael gets to see her like photo album that she's taken of photos of him in his bedroom across the way, of him recording her taking her shirt off. Look, what is this?
Just get together already. Like, why are we taking pictures from if you're both doing it?
We'll find out later. How stupid.
Yeah, like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Now Michael wakes up and he is back at the beginning of the movie where he's being thanked by Brainscan for playing. And he realizes everything was just a game. And he fucking trashes his bedroom. Brainscan is trying to tell him stress relieving techniques after he plays the game, and he's just like clearing house, dude. How's this for a stress reliever?
Everything.
Smash, just destroying everything. And then Kyle calls, and he's just excited to see Kyle. He runs downstairs. They start talking about the party that's going on next door, and he tells Michael, "Hey man, it's a good thing you haven't ordered Brainscan yet because some kid played it, and he had like an aneurysm or something, and his eyeballs exploded." Michael decides, life's too short, and he decides it's time to go tell Kimberly how he really feels. So he goes over to the party.
He told Kyle how much he loves him. Kyle, I love you.
I love you, man. All right, so he's now over Kimberly's house. He makes his way to her bedroom, and he asks her out, and she simply says no. His heart is broken, his world is shattered, and then she goes, I'll think about it, maybe. Then they have the absolute awkward exchange of maybe yes, maybe you'll think about it. Okay, yeah. Well, it's definitely not a no. Like, I'm so excited. And then she gives him a kiss as she makes her way back to the party. Michael is just in love, boys. And just out of curiosity, he decides to walk over to what he saw in the video game, and he finds the stack of photos she has of him across the way. This time it's in real life. And he smiles. A beautiful
Then he turns her into the police.
And this is the weirdest fucking couple I've ever seen in cinematic history. Like, what is going on? It just makes zero sense. Now we get the ending scenes, fellas. And this is hands down my favorite part of this entire movie. You ready? Are you ready, Justin? Smile. Smile.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Focus up. Let's go. Michael, having the experience he had with Brainscan, decides if I'm going to fuck anyone over, it's going to be the guy who canceled Horror Club. So Michael now brings Brainscan to school to show the Horror Club, knowing the principal has to play the game before it gets approved. And the trickster shows up, has a good laugh, gives him like a salute. Yep. Then we get credits. Just kidding. We get the neighborhood dog again running around with a foot. And now we get credits.
Yeah, why did they show that dog scene at the end?
What?
Like, why?
The
No
dog still
idea.
have the foot.
I thought,
Why-
yeah.
Didn't he?
The only thing I can think of is the principal started playing the game, and the first kill he did was that guy again.
Like, I thought that was like, didn't he burn the foot?
Yeah, he brought the foot back to Michael's house.
Like, was that just showing? Or I'm so confused. I was like,
Dude,
why would
Thoroughly
you show me
confused.
that?
Thoroughly
The end.
confused. Yeah.
Movie over.
And
What'd you guys think of the movie? What'd you guys think of Brainscan?
it was a sort of fun B movie. I mean, I think really the Trickster saved this movie to give it the points.
Oh, he makes the whole movie. If it was anything else besides the Trickster, I probably would have never have picked this movie.
I'm gonna give it a 5, but that's strictly because of the Trickster.
You sound like you're trying to be generous.
And
So he's like, let's wrap this up. Get the hell out of here.
Listen, all right. I'm sorry there's not crazy space sex, portals and dimensions that you can go through. And
I mean, sort of.
The Enterprise.
there was. I mean, there was definitely a portal in there.
There is no spaceman in this movie.
Okay.
All right.
He's
Justin,
good. No rockets on the back.
Yeah, rocket up your ass. What's up, Justin?
All right, this is what's up. I thought this movie was just B-movie cheesy, so much fun. Had a great time with this movie. Obviously, I mean, I think it actually even still could have been better for like I expected it to be cheesy and stuff, but I think it was kind of ahead of its time with the computer stuff. Love the Trickster, so ridiculous. I give it a 6.4 out of 10, but that's a fun, like, I know this is 90s. That's like a fun, cheesy B movie, like 6.4, like awesome fun. You don't have to use your brain, even though it's a brain scan, to watch this movie, but a lot of fun. Definitely had some fun with this movie. I love the Trickster. The Trickster was absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, like, was the acting good? Hell no. But half the movies I love from the 80s and slashers, like half the acting's bad. I mean, it almost made it more funny just how stupid some parts of it was. But I had a lot of fun with it. I give it a 6.4. What do you give it, John?
Me, I'd probably give it a 6 based off of just the movie that it's a fun intro to horror. If you want to get someone into horror, just like we talked about Idle Hands, this is just, it lacks the comedy. But for nostalgic purposes, I'm going to bump it up to a 7. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I don't say this too often, but I want someone to remake this movie.
Yeah.
I want to see this updated. You know what I mean? The special effects and the practical effects in this movie, they do hold up. I just want to see it updated. I think it would.
The Trickster, they can make the Trickster crazy.
More,
even like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That merge scene at the very end, I thought it was gonna be such a badass scene, and then it kind of just like was kind of like a dud. Like I thought there was gonna be some crazy monster because I mean it gets so ridiculous. He's all of a sudden he's like eating him and stuff. I'm like, what is even happening?
Just John Connor with green eyes.
Yeah, right. And all of a sudden, then it just that's why I mean I was disappointed. Like as cheesy as it was, I thought it could have actually been a lot better.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get into some fun facts. Do you want me to burn through mine first, or do you guys want to go?
Sure. I mean, I know. I'm sorry, Justin. I did burn one of yours earlier.
I was gonna say I'm crossing mine off.
All right, let's stop this fucking love fest, and Justin, you go first.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm going whatever. So this movie I wrote it bombed so bad in theaters.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it got kicked out of theaters after 2 weeks. They were like, get this shit off our screen right this second. It was it just bombed so bad.
Which is unreal because I think it's still made like 3.1 million. Granted, that's not like blockbuster numbers, but that's still decent for 2 weeks.
For inflation.
That's especially decent for 1994 Brainscan. The director did not get along with Edward Furlong. They had some issues making this movie. He said like the kid just like would oversleep every single day and he had to like wake him up. The kid was just like a mess and just like not interested.
Yeah, he referred to him as a 15-year-old who couldn't act and had to be slapped awake every day.
Oh my God, did he really? I didn't even see that quote. That's just so funny. I did read that the dude just didn't want to wake up like for this whole entire movie and just like couldn't do anything. And that definitely shows in the movie. Like say, the kid shows he has no emotion at all. What else do I got here? I just wrote how badass the soundtrack is. We got Primus in there. We got White Zombie. They clearly, whoever did this, loved grunge. You had Tad from Seattle. You had Mudhoney. You had the Butthole Surfers. You had
say that again.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't. No, you know what? It's even more funny is that I like last night I wrote, do I actually say butthole surfers on this podcast? Because if I do, both these dumbasses are gonna say something, and just unbelievable. Called that.
You know us so well.
So well. Like I oh my god, I almost said that to my wife. I was like, if I say this band name, then I got another cool one in both Kyle and Kimberly's room. We had Aerosmith posters, the Get a Grip posters. And if you remember from that had Living on an Edge on it, and Edward Furlong actually starred in that Aerosmith video.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of cool. And this is just a observation of how ridiculous this movie is. My favorite part of the podcast we did today was Sean. When you were reading out loud, like your notes, I feel like it was the first time you said some of those sentences out loud. You kind of sounded like Ron Burgundy, like realizing like how ridiculous this movie is. Like you sounded like you were like questioning like yourself. But you're like, oh my god, like what is even happening? Like as you were saying it, it almost looked like you were thinking like, holy shit, this is dumber than I thought. So that was kind of like that was kind of my favorite thing of the whole entire podcast was watching your own reaction. And I'm frozen on my screen.
Yeah, you are frozen. You're like this.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that was my favorite thing. And I'm gonna do my Halloween tie-in before we kick it in. Once again, this one was so tough, but luckily I'm incredibly good at my pointless job that I do. My Halloween tie-in was Brian Walsh, who does special effects and makeup. Did special effects and makeup on all three of the new Halloween trilogies from Halloween 18, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Let's go. Still get the streak alive. And please, I didn't even want to say Halloween Ends. Let's not even talk about this. Let's just move on immediately so we don't get sidetracked and get angry about anything. Sean, take it over.
I'm gonna let Waterboy go. I got a couple. Justin, we already touched on a few of them. So
yeah, I've got the one. Justin already touched on the ones that I had.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we're just touching each other all over the place. All right. The scene at the end of the film was supposed to be like some form of a horrific abomination when the trickster and Michael merged together. No one in the editing room or the director could give an answer as to why this didn't make the final cut. Guys, if you Google search it or if you look it up on YouTube or if you have any kind of deleted scenes, you can see this. And it's a freaky ass looking character. And I really wish it made the movie because it would have made that ending scene so much better.
So much better. I would have given it two more points.
Much better. The trickster, when he shows up and he's dancing all around the room to Primus, the name of that song is Welcome to This World, which is very fitting because this is Trickster's entrance to the world.
To the world.
What else do we got?
Gotta love some Primus. Let's go. Les Claypool. Sorry.
This movie was modeled after the video game called Brainwaves. We had talked about how it got pulled right out of movie theaters, how much critics hated it, how it bombed. It was a financial disaster. Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 16%, guys, but the audience score nowadays has a cult following. And like we said, this movie was way ahead of its time. The audience gave it a 60%.
Yeah, so
still not as high as The Void because, Peruvian women ages fucking 18 to 24 get paid to just go on and vote everything up.
Right, they're crazy, dude. They're pretty awesome.
You had one job.
It was good.
It was good. It was great. It was grand. It was fantastic. This movie, if you have stuck around this long and you want to watch it, can unfortunately be rented on Amazon, Apple, all those things. I couldn't find it streaming anywhere, so I bought it and it still hasn't showed up. So I rented it last night and sped through my notes. So I apologize if this episode sucked on my behalf.
No, this episode was great.
Yeah, that's what I like.
So smash our buttons. Yay.
Smash our buttons.
Smash them. Fucking smash them.
Button it up.
Go.
All right, Justin, what are we doing next week? Can you let the fam family know, or did you not have that prepared? Because last night I even told you because you was like, "Can someone just do a John Carpenter movie?" And I was like, "It's yours next week, so you can."
I don't know. I don't know what I have left on our list.
Is it Justin or is it me? I can't remember. Wait,
we just did Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder was last week.
Oh shit, you're right.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
we haven't released. I know, it's confused.
Me and Justin talk about this every time. Like we don't know who's fucking next.
I don't know what's next, so I guess
you got Hell House LLC. You've got
that's too scary.
Barbarian. You've got like a ton of things, dude. I mean, I'm just scrolling my phone trying to kill time right now.
You can
stuff.
Edit, so
that's literally all you have left.
I have 2 movies left.
You got Barbarian and Hell House LLC.
Can I switch Barbarian?
Yeah, I mean,
Or what just happened? Are you okay? Should I not switch Barbarian? Do you love that movie or something?
Do you not want to see gigantic woman titties?
and
What does that mean? That's in Barbarian?
wait,
Yeah.
you haven't seen it?
I don't even know anything about it.
You picked it.
I picked it because it didn't come out when we drafted this. No one's seen it. And I just drafted it because I'm like, oh, that sounds like a cool name of the movie.
I'll be 100% honest. Barbarian feels more like a Waterboy movie than a Justin movie.
Yeah, I want to change it. Oh, dear God, then I don't want anything to do with it. No, I delete it from my list. All right, so next week.
I right-click.
All right, so since I have to change my other movie and I don't have a list in front of me, next week we are doing one of my favorite found footage movies in the history of found footage movies. And I'm not going to lie, it gave me a nightmare the first time I saw it, and I'm a little nervous to rewatch it. Hell House LLC actually scared the shit out of me. I'm nervous for that one because we're going to go to like actual scary horror next week. But anyway, check us out next week. I'm just Justin. There.
That's stabby hacky stab.
I'm hacky, that's stabby, and that's not slashy. Yeah.
We can watch Hell House LLC on YouTube for free.
You just went at 100 miles an hour. Did Waterboy freeze for you too, Justin?
Yeah, I don't. He was like, I don't even.
Yeah, dude, it was pure quiet. It was purely quiet. No,
are we done?
Hell House LLC.
Are you breaking up with me
on YouTube?
We gotta end that shit.